Alright, so we've got all of the staples outside of the outside edge. So I think where I'm going to start is by labeling the outer boards. So that one up there, those that run down the side. I'm putting markers on them so I know which order they go back on. And then once I get them off, I can start pairing them with the trim that's downstairs, see if I can get them straightened out and glued back together. Okay, so we've got 3. So I mark the top one 3, 3, and 3. So I know that goes on that side with that board. This one was already marked 1, so I marked it 1, 1, and then down here I marked 1-1, and down here I marked 1-1, and on the board itself. So I know that that's this half of the table. And then this one already had markings for 2. So this is 2-2, 2-2, and then the top is number 2, and then 2. So that way I can take these off and know how they line up when I put them all back. Alright, so first piece. This one is the back, so there's no decal. I found and matched all of these up and labeled them all with a number. So this, kind of line up the holes where it came out of. And you can kind of mark where it goes. That way we know how it's supposed to line up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure all of these are kind of straight, kind of pound them back through. Put glue on it, line it up, and then pound the staples back in. And that glue should help all of this kind of settle back. So I am going to brush this off just to make sure that there's not any particles in there. And we'll get it going. These actually all seem fairly straight. A couple of them bend just a little bit. Or do you think it would be better if I just went for it with glue, lined them up and pounded it back? Let's see how that does on this one. This is just a Loctite Express glue. pretty straight. Still a little on the loose side, but that's okay. So we will flip it around. And then I've got a whole bunch of these clamps. Get this all clamped. There's one. There's two. And there we can see some of the glue sticking out a little bit. You can see some of the glue sticking out a little bit there, so that'll be fine. I'm gonna go get a towel, just kind of wipe that. This one should be ready to go. Okay, this one is the front of the pool table. It's got the design. So this one's got a whole bunch of the staples that are bent, so I'm gonna have to bend them all back. One's okay. Yeah, looking back, a pry bar was not the best way to take this apart. These should have just unscrewed. But we didn't know what we were doing, so one day at a time. Let's see if I can get this one bent back. There. Just see if I can get it started. Brush these off the same way I did the other one. Just make sure that they're kind of as straight as possible so I can get them back. Into here. Try this one the same way. This one goes. That looks straight to you guys? I think that'll do it. not as good with wood, so let me know if you guys think this is too much glue. I mean, I do woodwork, but I don't do like, let's glue it together. I do let's screw it together or nail it together. And this is kind of both, so it's kind of lined up. Still bent a little bit. It's kind Alright. Now it's going to start. A little bit. So this side took really well. That's better. So let's flip this side around, get it clamped. Do the one in the middle first. Squeeze out over the edge, so that's good. I don't have any squeezing on the inside though, so I'm not quite sure if that's good or bad. But that looks pretty straight. So this will be the front of the pool table that you see. That's the front skirt around the bottom. Alright, the next two pieces are going to be rather difficult though, because they're that much longer. They are quite a bit longer. And there's two pieces on each one. So, we'll get to those in a minute. Alright, so I've got the bench cleared off a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and do these other two. So, get these straightened out a little bit. That one's fine. The glue seems to be holding really well on the other two. And again, I don't want to like clear all of this off. So I'm going to put glue, because the glue will hold the wood, especially after I clamp it all in. But these staples are going to hold the rest of it. let's get the glue on. Are we stuck? And that dries really fast. Alright. Squeeze a little in there. Because these are a little longer, I'm going to use just a little bit more glue. Little play to it. I'm going to go ahead and clamp it. I will give it about 10 to 15 minutes and do the other side. So this is also a faster set glue. Supposed to have a 10-minute set time with the clamps. So we will see how this actually turns out. Fine. We'll let this one set and then we'll do the other side. And alright, so we're going to go ahead and do this side. That way I've got one clamped and ready to go. And then we'll do the other one tomorrow. These aren't too far out of whack. Just want them to go in straight. Glad this table came with two of these brushes because I might be killing one just by using it on this. Okay. I'm pretty sure this extra glue is going to help out quite a bit anyway. This one, I can line up these holes. more squished out here. You're not going to be able to see any of this once the table's put together anyway, but you will be able to see the outside of the board. This one sit, and we'll come back 20-30 minutes, unclamp it, make sure that this is holding, and then we'll get the last piece glued, and then that'll be all 4 of the skirt pieces. So definitely making progress. So the base just needs to be clamped, and then we'll get the skirts done, and then next we'll be working on the frame itself. Alright, first board is completely done. So this is the last one of the long ones. This one's going to be a little harder because this piece is intact, but the other piece broke, so when we get to that one we're going to kind of be a little more careful. So we'll start by seeing if we can get all of these staples kind of pulled out where I can grab them with the needle nose. Almost all of these got bent. Let's switch to a smaller one. Here we go. I don't think I can grab that actually. Not quite. Yeah, we definitely weren't very gentle with this one when we glued it. That's okay though. So far we're doing pretty good getting it put back together. There's hope for it, and I'm not giving up yet. it'll have, and we'll have a pool table again. Not that I've had one before, but it will be a pool table again. Line up at all. Yeah, that'll line up. Get this all brushed off. Definitely helped because it's been a little bit since I brought it in here, but it definitely helped to mark everything so I could see where everything goes. The other one of these that I just did seems to be holding just fine. Go. Still looks flush. So we'll get this one all clamped up. And I'll move the camera and we'll do the other side. Alright. 1 second and we'll be back for the other one. Alright, this is the one that broke off in 2 pieces, so I'm going to address the small one first and just straighten out the staples. I even need a screwdriver for these. Maybe. This one. There. Okay. This one. really need to go together. And then so let's get the glue in there first. Ahead and made sure that we've got plenty of glue there, because this is actually one of the screw holes to mount, and we may end up drilling a different hole when we actually go to mount it later. There. At least get it to start bonding. I may put an extra clamp or two on this. I don't think this one's going to go anywhere once we get it actually set to the board. So this one will line up. These should line up. So these clamped. See if I can get some of it. Could I go under there? This particular glue said that it also can be used as a wood filler and you can sand it, so squeeze a little extra. Cracks on the outside. saying this board here that these hold don't actually weigh a whole lot, but this will at least hopefully bond it a little better. And none of this will be visible from the outside of the pool table anyway. So from here, I think I'm going to let that cure overnight. But the trim pieces, the skirt if you will, is done. So next we move on to the frame. Okay, pool table repair part 1 complete. These are the skirt boards. There are still a couple little gaps in there that I'm probably going to fill with some wood filler or something, but they do hold the weight. That's all they really have to do. They just hold the weight of the skirt and then the staples for the felt. So on to part 2.